roses. They don't just come in red, everybody. There are so many different colors of roses. I know that they're not always available, like when you go to supermarkets, Valentine's Day, many different ones in colors you can use, and they signify so many different things. And the names are awesome. Look at these, are called the gotcha roses. I mean, come on. You've got Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus are fantastic too. And Hocus Pocus, I swear to you, they really smell like candy when they open. Another beautiful rose that my guys love to give their girls are the peppermint roses. I'm going to show you why. This color, it's a beautiful and elegant but yet nondescript color. So it doesn't really mean anything. It's not your white, it's not your yellow, it's not your pink for Secret Admirer, Lost Love, all that kind of stuff. It's just this beautiful rose, and the rose head is literally as large as the palm of your hand when it opens up. There's another group of roses referred to as spray roses, and they're a miniature version of roses, just as beautiful, less expensive, and again, look at the colors. And if you want to as well, you can always incorporate them in a larger bouquet with the larger head roses. Super elegant, super sexy, and again, living art. When you make a floral arrangement, it needs to come straight from the heart. And it should be something that's easy for you. You don't want to make a lot of fuss because flowers are so beautiful on their own, so you don't want to construct it so perfect. It's got to be loose, it's got to be free-flowing. That's what flowers are. I happen to run across these. And look at all of these together. They look like an old faded painting. You have to be really careful about which foliage you pick because you can totally screw the whole bouquet up if you don't pick the right thing. When I happened to be in Paris at the flower market, they're fanatics for foliage. Their foliage is so gorgeous, and sometimes we're lucky enough to get it over here. Privet berry is one of them. Privet berry is very hard to get out of the box. Okay. And what's so great when I saw some of the florists out there working with privet berry is that it looks so amazing in a vase, but it also is so great if you decide at the last minute that you want to do a carried bouquet. Okay, so now we're back and I've got all my gorgeous flowers, so we're going to get started and go ahead and make some fantastic arrangements. So I'm stripping my roses. It's important to strip the roses of all of these thorns. You want to make sure that nobody gets pricked, nobody gets hurt when they're pulling out their beautiful bouquet. I prefer to use a knife, but there are rose strippers that you could get at any floral shop, at any like Home Depot, any wholesale place. And you get rid of the foliage because you don't want any foliage underwater because it causes too much bacteria in the arrangement and it'll die a lot faster. I'm going to do a couple different arrangements for these fantastic women that I work with, and it's going to be a total surprise. They're going to love it. I'm actually going to do one beautiful arrangement in a vase, and then I'm going to do a really spectacular wrapped bouquet. My philosophy is when you work with roses and you're working with the glass vase, not to put a leaf on the inside or to cover the stems. I think that with the roses, you need to let the flower be the flower because roses are just so beautiful that you just kind of want to let them be free. Okay, this is your scrub ivy, which is also called privet berry. And you're probably going to want either bigger scissors or clippers to use for these because the stems are a lot thicker. And look at how sexy the stems are. So you don't want to hide that. I mean, because it's just so pretty. At the market today, what I did was I got 3 different kinds of roses. To me, they all have this vintage feel, like of an old painting or old photograph. Now, with roses, what I would do is I would start with doing 3 at a time of the same color. And you kind of group them, a little bit together. Because again, when you put the same color together, it makes the biggest presentation. With all the florals available, if you ever feel so overwhelmed because there's such a fantastic collection, go and do the roses. But do roses in different colors like this. They're so elegant and you can never go wrong. And don't think that you always have to do a dozen roses and keep a certain number. Again, you just pull what you love and you put as many in a vase that you can. I have friends who have had rose gardens and they're beautiful outside, but they're so afraid to cut them and bring them in. You need to cut them and you need to make arrangements and you need to bring them inside of the house, because as gorgeous as they are outside, they're so spectacular in living color inside of your house on a beautiful credenza, by your bedside. There's nothing like having garden roses from your garden by your bedside. Don't forget to sustain some of the florals. What you do is you go ahead and put a little bit of sugar in the arrangements. You can put a little bit of sugar, a little bit of aspirin, or a penny. So look at the end result. It looks like a beautiful, beautiful painting. It's spectacular. And you know what? Less than $30, because I went to the flower market and picked up all these fresh flowers that just came in this morning. Super fresh, super spectacular. Less than 30 bucks. How can you beat that? You'd go someplace else and spend hundreds of dollars. Gorgeous. I'm Gloria Baker, and remember, let the flower be the flower. Thanks so much for joining me. See you again.